At ease, soldiers. Welcome back to Simon of Fortune, where today I'm filming what I hope is the first part of this review. Now, I bought this M1943 field jacket from US Wings, really just out of curiosity, because as you can see here, it is large, long, and myself being 6'4", often I can't find things that are long enough for my arms. I have a 36-inch sleeve, so it just makes it pretty difficult. Now, I say I hope this is the first half because I'm just going to get it out of the way. This is not the jacket I thought I ordered, and I'm going to send it back, and I'm going to say, you know, send me the one I ordered or I want my money back. But, you know, at the end of the day, I was just really curious about this because nobody else is offering reproductions in long right now, except for At the Front on their early jackets. And as you're about to see, that doesn't work for me. So I'll go ahead and get a closer look at this jacket. So if you look closely, well, you don't have to look too closely. The main problem I have is the buttons are on the outside of the pocket flaps. That's a no-no. And that's the main reason. It's like, what the hell? You know, the pictures weren't anything like this. The pictures had the right pockets, and I mean, it looked fairly green. This one's really brown, which I guess I can kind of look past because, I mean, dyeing isn't perfect now, and it was even less perfect in the 40s, but it's pretty brown. So here we have the jacket. Excuse the wrinkled shirt. I just washed it, haven't pressed it yet. But as you can see, it's a lot browner than the jacket that's next to it. This is the At the Front early pattern. But it's brown, and as you can see, the buttons are on the outside of the pocket flap, which is a big no-no. That's the main reason why I'm going to return this. But see, the color's off, and I know comparing a reproduction to another reproduction isn't a great idea. So color and buttons are wrong. The pockets are too small. The originals are designed to be able to hold a K ration. So if we undo this, and this doesn't have anything in it, but it holds K ration just fine. And then if we go over this jacket, first of all, you can't even get started in there. But even if you could, it's just not tall enough and not wide enough. So, I mean, the pockets are too small. And one other thing, here, I'll get you up here. The epaulettes or shoulder straps are really thin. They're probably about 1.25 inches wide. And if we look on the reproduction, or the At the Front, it's noticeably wider. It's about 2 inches wide. So all around, oh, and one other thing, I know some people get really anal about this. It has a zipper. Original jackets could be found modified with zippers. I don't know so much about M43s, but I know for sure a lot of soldiers modified Ike jackets, which had the same style of closure. So it's not infeasible that there could be a zipper. And speaking of the buttons, you can see there are 4 here, and on the At the Front there is 6. Now that also could vary. For example, I have 2 original. Actually, I have a lot of original Ike jackets. M50s, 4 buttons, and then 1 inverted button. M44s are 5 buttons all the way down. The original M44 December 1944 contract Ike jacket I have only has 4 buttons. It doesn't have 5. So, I mean, these kind of variances could be seen, but like I said, could be uh, pretty nitpicky for some. And I mean, if this wasn't enough to get you to not buy this, then I mean, none of this is gonna bother you. Anyway, that's enough about the bad. I guess we'll get on to the good. Okay, so here we have the U.S. Wings jacket. It actually fits okay. It's roomier than the at the front jacket, but it still feels a little smaller than my M65 does. And the my one complaint is the lining on the cuffs. It, like about right here, it gets really tight. I don't know why, because I mean, if anything, it should get tight here, but it gets tight up here and then flares back out. So you have an open wrist area, but it feels really, really strange. And I mean, obviously the pockets are too short, but otherwise, I mean, it fits okay. It's comfortable. I'll give it that. But I mean, yeah, what are you gonna do? Anyway, I'm going to send this back and see if I can get one with the correct pocket flaps, because if I can, then I can overlook everything else. You know, I can dye it greener. I can wash it so that some of the brown seeps out and then dye it green. You know, I don't care if it's not the perfect shade of green. And I mean, the cuffs, I can fix that. I think it's just some weird stitching. I can undo that. But I mean, the pocket flaps, I can't do anything about without it being noticeable. So if I do get the correct one, you'll be seeing that now. If I don't and I get my money back, then this is the end of the review. Okay, so it's been maybe a couple months actually since I filmed that last section with the U.S. Wings M43. It's since been returned, and I'm still waiting on my money back. My card the card that I paid for it with, there was a problem with it, so I had to get a new one. And I guess that I've been calling them, so hopefully I get my money back. Anyway, here we finally have a sort of happy ending to this. So first of all, on the right here is my existing at the front M43. Then on the left is my new Quartermaster Inspector QMI M43 that I got from Hessen Antique. And let me tell you, I'm so happy I bought it. I made kind of a informed purchase, I guess. Go me. And I measured. I took the measurements from QMI's website and put them up against my large, long M65, and it just about matched up to the let's see, size 44. The size 44 was slightly, just ever so slightly bigger than the M65. And I decided to go oversize. I got a size 46, a 46R, which was a good decision because it fits exactly like a 44 long. It's, even after I wash it, the sleeve length's perfect, the chest is perfect, the overall length is perfect, and I'm just super satisfied with it. And on top of that, I was able to try, there's a trick where, and I probably already said all this, like I said, it's been a couple months, but there's a trick where you can like soak a shrunken garment in hot water with some hair conditioner. So I did that and stretched it back out, and it actually worked pretty okay. it doesn't fit as well as the QMI jacket does, and but the sleeve length is better than it was, and I don't know if I want to sell it or not. I mean, I've had it for probably 4 years now, and I mean, I don't know. I'm thinking on that. Anyway, I guess we can do a little bit of a more in-depth review on the QMI jacket and probably compare it to the at the front jacket a little. And here we have a M43 jacket hood. It is original. Uh, there's all the jazz on it, but I don't know exactly when this one's dated. It's pattern 6344. But here we see it's a pretty close match to both of them. It's a little bit greener than this one. It's actually pretty dead on with the at the front. But I mean, you can see, I don't know how well this shows up on camera, but both are a very good color match. Okay, as we get in closer with the QMI jacket, there's really only one gripe I have with it, and it's the buttons. These buttons are they're thin and they just feel pretty cheap, and they have like some kind of residue around the rim there, and it just looks really off. Even still, the brown's too dark, which color varied on those wildly as well. Some were like a caramel color, others were super dark brown, but in terms of what I've encountered personally, this is darker than most of the other similar buttons I have in my collection. But they're thin, they feel pretty cheap, so I'm replacing those with World War II Impressions buttons because they look good and they're actually cheaper than at the fronts. At the fronts are $1 a piece, and then World War II Impressions you get 20 for $10, so 50 cents a piece. A couple other small features of note are, like, on the inside of these button flaps, the fabric is just white. So, like, it sort of bugs me, but not really. Like at the front one, this is OD3, and on other ones it's OD7, but this is just white. I'm sure at least one came out of the factory like this, but I mean, it's, like I said, it's the details. If that kind of thing bugs you, then I don't know. And then one last thing is the drawstring. The drawstring is elastic. It's like paracord. It's stretchy. So whenever you adjust the cord however you like, it still has some room to stretch. So I mean, that might be seen as a positive to some and a negative to others. I haven't decided how I feel about it yet. I think the fixed, like, non-stretchy cord would probably be better, just so it keeps that adjustment, but also I can see how having some wiggle room where you don't have to just keep adjusting it if you ate a little too much for lunch. I can see how that would be a plus, and I can see how it'd be a negative, but that's just the facts. Going up here, I ripped out the size label, and it says the made in Pakistan label, which I'm gonna replace with the label that says 44L. Like I said, this was sold as a 46R, but the way it fits, it's just perfect. I want to put the size that I usually wear. I know it's a little detail nobody really cares about, but I don't know. And then, of course, we have the spec label here. It looks kind of, I mean, it's all right. It's like paper tag material. It looks okay. It does the job. There's no typos on it. So I'll give it that. In the pocket down here, here we see the accurate size contractor tag. It Something I noticed down there, it says PQD number 337. The spec on these is 370 A through E, which I have another note about that. But I mean, it's the wrong spec number, which I don't care about. I'm probably going to replace this tag altogether or just, ignore it. These kind of things don't really bother me because nobody's going to come up to you at a reenactment and open your pocket and say, "What the hell is that?" It's what matters, There's kind of like a quote 10-foot rule. It's one of those things where most people won't really care, but I know some people get bent out of shape about it. The pockets, I really like the size and placement. I think they look really good. They work really good as well, and I'm pretty happy about it. So hopping over to the ATF jacket for a sec, you'll see that the neck flap has 2 buttons holding it on. And the QMI jacket only has 1. Well, this was because of a spec change. I believe it was from D to E, where they changed to having only 1 button holding it down, which I'm fine with. I don't care. I don't use the neck flap. And I mean, on more than one occasion, I've been tempted to just slice this thing off because I don't use it and it just kind of pokes out and gets ugly. But I mean, if ever there is a time I need to use it, then it wouldn't be. Here is some detail on the end of the sleeve, on the cuff. As you can see, it has the gusset, gas protection gusset. I will say that this seems just a little tad long. Like, if you have this done up, sometimes it'll poke out the bottom like that when you're wearing it. It's not noticeable. I mean, it's a little noticeable, but it's not something that matters. As for me, I've been wearing this daily, and it's very comfortable. I look down, and I see it poking out, and I'm like, well, whatever. Such is life. If it gets to a point that it really bothers me, I might take it in just a little. I guess now I'll go ahead and try these on, just so you can see how they fit. Okay, and here we have the fit on at the front jacket. This is the pattern A jacket. It fits me pretty slim. Not a whole lot of bagginess. And now that I've stretched it back out, it actually fits pretty well. But I still prefer the QMI jacket, personally. The material on this one is a lot thicker, so I mean I'm pretty hot right now. I mean it's March, and I'm still burning up. But yeah, overall it feels nice. Like the sleeve length is, like if I stretch my arm all the way out, that's about where it sits. But other than that, it works. And here we have the QMI jacket. So, as you can tell, the sleeves are a lot longer, and it's also a much baggier fit. I feel like I have a lot more room, like range of motion in this jacket, which I don't know if this is supposed to be cut like a pattern A or not, but I mean, based on the button flap, I'd say it's supposed to be based on a later one, which even still, I mean, it's not super baggy on me. I know that's a common complaint with M43 jackets, but I mean, I've been wearing a field jacket just about every day for the past 5 years, so I know what a field jacket's supposed to feel like, so maybe I'm just kind of blind to it. But here, if I extend my arm all the way out, even try to reach, you can see that sleeve is staying nice and at my wrist level. It's not hiking up like at the front. And Like I said, this is lighter. I mean, I'm still warm, but it doesn't feel so heavy, and I feel a little cooler. I'm not burning up. I'm actually quite comfortable. So overall, I mean, coming from a 6'4", 250-pound guy, I mean, this is probably the perfect field jacket for me. So I mean, if you're tall, then I would recommend, like, if you're tall and you're not too big, I would recommend getting this jacket over like the at the front generic size. I haven't owned one of those. I don't know how they fit. I just know that this one fits really well. If you have any insight for any other viewers, maybe leave them in the comments as to how the new run of at the fronts and 43s fit. But as always, thank you for watching. Thanks for coming along on this journey with me. I know it was quite a while in the making, but you know, I think in the end we got there. So as always, like, share, subscribe, do whatever you want to do, and you know, enjoy the rest of your night, soldiers.